Acts chapter 2. It says here that the Holy Spirit came to the disciples as a rush of violent wind that filled the entire house, and also as tongues of fire that rested on each of them. And when that happened, they were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages. So let's explore each illustration. The Holy Spirit as fire and the Holy Spirit as wind.
Team Fire here. I think on close examination, fire will trump wind in helping us to grasp the person and work of the Holy Spirit. Give it your best shot, Lydia.
Thanks, Neil. I'll take that challenge. Team Wind. John 3:8 says, "The wind blows wherever it pleases. You can hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it's going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit." Sometimes wind can change direction very quickly, and we're not quite sure what it's going to do next or where it's going. So it can be with the way of God. I'm dizzy now. Top that, Neil.
What I love about the illustration of fire is that it can spread so quickly. You only need a tiny spark to start a great wildfire. But a more positive illustration is Christingle. From the church candle we light all the others, but the light of the first is not diminished. It's a bit like the light of God burning equally in each of us by His Holy Spirit. Maybe that's another way in which fire helps us understand the Holy Spirit and His key role in guiding us. Boom, Lydia.
I agree, Neil. The Holy Spirit does give us direction, and we can see that through the imagery of wind as well. Just like a big gust of wind fills the sails of a ship and pushes it along and gives it direction, so too the Holy Spirit fills us, giving us direction in our lives too. But just as we can think of the Holy Spirit as a huge gust of wind, we can also think of the Holy Spirit like a gentle breeze as well, cooling us, refreshing us when we get tired or weary, reviving us and refreshing and restoring our souls.
Hang on, Lydia, fire can do that too. It can be gently warming, a glow that radiates heat and takes the chill off the air. The Holy Spirit can comfort in the most gentle way, God's presence alongside and within us. But it can also be so hot that it can purify metal and soften steel. Malachi 3:3 says He will purify and refine them like gold and silver. The Holy Spirit convicts us of the things we do wrong. It can show us where the sin is, and it can empower us to do something about it. 30 all, Lydia.
I see your blowtorch, and I raise you a hairdryer. Just like how we can't always see God, we can't always see wind either. In fact, we rarely can ever see the wind. It's quite invisible. But we can see the effects it has on the things around it. Oh my goodness, it's spinning, it's spinning! So just as we saw the effects that this hairdryer had on this ping pong ball, making it float all over the place, we can also see the effects that the Holy Spirit has in our lives. We can see us growing in the gifts of the Spirit. We can see us growing to be more and more like Jesus every day as the Holy Spirit is at work in us.
Okay, so fire isn't quite as invisible as wind, but it is absolutely captivating. Light a bonfire on a scout camp, and the young people will stare at it all night. Light a barbecue, and the dads will flock from miles away. Fire illuminates the room. And if you meet someone in whom the Holy Spirit is at work, or who has been at work for a while, they begin to mirror Jesus so closely that you really want to be around them. Bring it, Lydia.
Ah, but Neil, fire isn't always there, but the air and the wind is always around us, and God is with us everywhere we go. The Holy Spirit is seen as the breath of God, and it says in Job 33 verse 4, "The Spirit of God has made me, the breath of the Almighty gives me life." Just as with every breath that we breathe, we're breathing in air, we're breathing in wind, we're breathing in oxygen, we're also have God with us with every breath that we take. He sustains us with everything. He is within us, just like the air in our lungs. God lives inside us. Put that in your barbecue.
Hard to top that one, Lydia. But fire is one of the essentials for human survival. Ask Bear Grylls. Shelter, food, water and warmth. Fire is essential to preserve and sustain life and to allow us to thrive. The author of life itself, living within us in the person of the Holy Spirit, what more could we need to nourish us and help us to flourish?
I think we did quite a good job there, Neil. I think a lot of our points have overlapped, and I think we're basically saying the same thing for wind and for fire.
Okay, it's a draw. Let's agree that they are both equally important then. They both have vital things to add to our understanding of the Holy Spirit.